Hi, Candace here to share another process video for you for the Clique Kits using the October kit Funfetti. So today I'm scrapbooking this picture of my little guy at the beach, and I'm using mostly the add-ons from the October kit, which has a lot of the Crepe Paper Wonder collection. So I started off with this 12 by 12 sheet of paper, and it has all the cut aparts, and so I cut apart the Be Happy in the circle, and the F is for fun, and the adventure. And then I'm pulling other embellishments from the kit, the little puffy stickers, and that craft tag I did have in my stash, but I went ahead and I backed it with some paper from that cut apart sheet. The acetate pieces, the one that says Stay Curious and Love, is also from the Crepe Paper Wonder collection, and that's from a 12 by 12 cut apart piece of acetate. And I'm going to back that Stay Curious tag with some paper from the Crepe Paper Wonder collection. And this is what you see here is going to start the base of my layout. So I wanted to work in a grid, and so I started with the center to make sure that the center line was all lined up. The little envelope, the two little envelopes, the gray one and the light green one, are just a few envelopes that I had in my stash, and I have had those probably for a few years. I don't remember who they're by, but I love them. They look so cute on layouts. So, and then that frame, I believe, is from a Maggie Holmes collection. So I go ahead and I glued the frame to that acetate piece, and then I'm just going to take my scissors, and I do this a lot. I just tuck it right under the edge of whatever I'm cutting, so my cut will be hidden behind whatever's on top. So I do that a lot. I feel like it's easier than tracing and measuring. So you'll see me do that a lot on my layouts. So I added a doily to the bottom, and then also layered on top of that doily one of those envelopes and the wood veneer self-adhesive heart that is from Pink Fresh Studio that comes in the main kit. And then I'm just going to adhere all that down to the center of my layout. The little ampersand and the Discover, along with those triangle puffy stickers, are all from the Crepe Paper puffy stickers that is an add-on in the October kit. So I'm going to use my a dimensional adhesive, and I'm going to pop up the picture on the lower left hand, and then in a little while you'll see me pop up the tag on the upper right hand, just to add some flow and dimension across the page. I didn't want to just have the picture popped up. I needed to add something else to be popped up. So here I have that little circle that I cut out of the 12 by 12 cut apart sheet, and I added a staple to the top of that, and then I adhered that down to my frame. And that little wood veneer piece is also from Pink Fresh Studios. So I placed that on top of the Be Happy, and I'm going to place that in the upper left-hand corner. Now you're just going to see me continue to go around the page and put the page together. So like I said, I'm going to pop up the tag in the upper right-hand corner. And I'm going to grab some thread and add some thread behind that tag before I adhere that down. And that's just going to add some more interest behind that tag. So that's going to go in the upper right hand corner, and then I'm also going to grab those two little puffy stickers and place them on top of the tag, the number 2, because my little guy was 2 when this photo was taken, and the heart. So that is going to go right up there. And then I'm going to go ahead and start moving down the right side column of my page. So now I have that frame down, and I'm going to add a staple to the 3x4 card that says Adventure on the lower right hand corner. Then I'm grabbing some more thread, but this time I'm just going to wrap it around my finger to create a little circle and then place that behind the little puffy cloud. And that will complete that card in the lower right hand corner. So I'm just going to adhere that down and keep moving around. So to adhere that little fabric tag from Pink Fresh Studios, I'm adhering it down with some Zots. And that is just going to make sure that that tag stays down nice and good. So placing that above my Adventure 3x4 card, and then I'm going to adhere down the puffy stickers in the center of the layout. And I know that I like the placement of that photo in the lower left hand corner, so I'm going to go ahead and adhere that down, popping that up just like the tag. And to adhere that little clear frame in the upper left hand corner, I'm just going to adhere first the Be Happy piece of cardstock, and that's going to hold down the clear frame so the adhesive doesn't show. And then at the very end, I'll go ahead and add some stitching just to make sure that that frame stays down good. So I grab my little hole punch here, and I'm punching a hole through that acetate tag and the cardstock. I'm going to place that above my photo. So to adhere down those little triangle pieces, I liked how they were spaced out on the acetate sheet that they came on. So I'm just going to grab some Post-it tape and place the Post-it tape on top of the puffy stickers, and that'll make sure that they stay spaced out just like they are in the acetate sheet and makes it nice and easy and fast to transfer to my layout. So now just going through and looking at all the embellishments to see if there's anything else that I wanted to add. I have these tassels that came in the kit, and I just adore them, but I haven't been able to find a place for them on any layout so far this month. So I tried on this layout, but they don't end up making it on this layout either. Now these little ties came on the Pink Fresh Studio fabric tags, and I just took those off a few of the tags and added them to this layout so I'd have some ties on those tags. So after I finish adding those ties, I'm going to go ahead and adhere down the tag, and because of the weight of the acetate piece, I'm going to go ahead and adhere it down with some red line tape to make sure that it stays stuck down nice and good. So just using that, going to burnish it on a little bit and place that right above my photo. And that will finish the left-hand column. So just looking around the layout, seeing if there's anything else that I wanted to add. And I did feel like I needed to ground the layout a little bit. So I went ahead and trimmed off a little bit, about 1/4 of an inch on each side of my layout. And I'm going to go ahead and add 2 strips of this paper from the Create Paper Wonder collection to the right and left hand side of my layout. And this is just going to help to ground my layout a little bit. So I'm going to just take those strips and I'm going to place them on my grid mat at the 12 line, and then take my layout and carefully place it over those strips. And this will make sure that my layout stays a true 12 by 12, and it makes it nice and easy to make sure everything is all lined up. So I just get that all lined up and stick it down. And then I'm going to grab my straight edge and I'm going to add some distressing to the edges of my layout. So just taking that straight edge and alternating between holding it horizontal and vertical to distress the edges of that layout. The more vertical I hold the straight edge, the more cuts, and the more horizontal I'll just distress that paper and pull a little bit of the color up, or in this case, because it's white, I'll just be pulling some of the fibers off the front of that white piece of cardstock. So again, just pulling up the edges to create some dimension. And then I will go ahead and look at my layout again and see if there's anything else that I wanted to add. And looking at it, I felt like that 3x4 card that said F is for fun needed a little bit something else. And I had that red adventure card in the lower right hand corner, and I wanted to pull a little bit more of that red to the top of the page. So I have this floss, sewing floss from my stash, and I'm just going to separate out a few of the threads from that and wrap that around my finger to create another little circle, just like the circle that's behind the puffy cloud. I just wanted to mimic that from the lower right hand corner and pull that up to the top of the page. And I'm going to end up taking that heart wood veneer and gluing that down on the F is for Fun card. And that's just going to pull a little bit of that red from the bottom up to the top. Now here again, I'm just pulling out little things from the kit, making sure there was nothing else that I wanted to add, and I think I decide that the layout looks pretty good. So just to pull a little bit of that distressing from the edges to the center of my layout, I'm going to distress the 3x4 cards that are on the layout just to add a little bit more connection and distress. I like the way it ends up turning out. I haven't done a lot of distressing this month, I feel like I have, but usually I don't, and I like how it ended up turning out. So after I finish that, I'm going to grab my sewing machine and just add some stitching around the page through the center of some of the columns and through some of the embellishments on the page. And then that completes the layout for today. If you have any questions, just leave a comment below. Thanks so much for stopping by. Make sure that you stay tuned to the very end for some still photos of the layout. And again, thanks so much for stopping by. I'll link to all the things that I use down below and to my blog. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.